Magnetite Shards are the currency you earn from raids and raid encounters in Guild Wars 2. You use them to buy Mystic Coins, Mystic Clovers, Ascended Gear, and a lot more valuable rewards. On February 3rd, the raid system got a major change, and if you had Prophet Shards saved up from the old strike missions, they were automatically converted to Magnetite Shards. Also, the weekly cap increased from 300 to 800 shards. Here is how to farm them efficiently. The fastest way to earn shards is through raid encounters. These are what used to be called strike missions. They are easier than the traditional raid wings and more accessible for new players. Each encounter gives between 8 and 16 Magnetite Shards based on the difficulty, and you can see that rating as a 5-star system in the new raid UI. Harvest Temple, for example, gives 16 shards because it's tier 5, while Aether Blade Hideout gives 8 shards because it's tier 1. But there is one important detail. The difficulty rating for each raid wing is for the overall raid, but the individual bosses inside the raid wings have their own difficulty tiers. As of right now, the UI does not show this, so you will either learn it through experience or check the wiki. You can kill the same boss repeatedly until you hit the 800 weekly cap because the shard limit is total, not per boss. That said, with the new system, most players will just clear each raid encounter once per week instead of farming the same ones over and over, and they will add to it whatever raid wings they can do. Keep in mind that Dragonstorm is an exception. It is the only strike mission that did not convert to the new system. It doesn't give Magnetite Shards and it doesn't count towards raid achievements. Also, you still access it through the NPC in Eye of the North. If you clear all 14 raid encounters once per week, including the less popular ones like Cold War and Forging Steel, that will give you about 165 Magnetite Shards. And when you complete all of them in 1 week, you also finish the weekly raid encounters achievement, which gives you 15 bonus shards. So that's 180 shards total just from the raid encounters. There is also Quickplay, which is a new automatic matchmaking system for raids. The important thing to know for farming Magnetite Shards is that Quickplay gives you 50% of the normal shards rewards. So if you finish a raid encounter that should give you 10 shards normally, you will only get 5 with Quickplay. So if you do 10 Quickplay raid encounters to finish the weekly achievement, you will also get on average between 40 to 50 shards from killing the bosses. There are also a couple of ways to earn extra shards on top of killing bosses. If you get any ascended drops that are exclusive to raids, you can salvage for 60 shards each. Just make sure you don't change its stats in the Mystic Forge, because then you may not get shards when you salvage it. You can also sometimes get minis as a drop from raids, and if you want, you can sell those and get 40 Magnetite Shards each. And you can do that from the basic vendor in the aerodrome. Now let's talk about realistic numbers that you can farm. If you clear all raid encounters once per week, including the unpopular ones, you will get about 180 shards. That will be 165 from the kills, and then 15 extra from the weekly achievement. If you add daily raid bounties and do at least one of them per day, that will give you roughly 50 shards per week. The shards will come from killing the boss itself, but just because it's daily, it means you will get extra loot on top, and it will be easier to find groups for it in the LFG. So between raid encounters and daily bounties, you will get about 230 shards per week. If you can also add Quickplay to that, you can push this all the way to 270 per week. This is important because the thing most people will want from weekly are going to be the Mystic Coins for 10 shards each and Mystic Clovers for 30 shards each. If you buy 10 Mystic Coins and 5 Mystic Clovers, that will cost 250 shards in total. And so if you get about 270 shards per week, as I explained, that will allow you to afford both of these items and still have some shards left over. This actually matches what you could buy from strike missions alone before the new raid system, and you will still get extra shards remaining, as I said. If you want to push that number even higher, you can try adding some traditional wing raid bosses on top of that. Some of them are beginner friendly, and you will find casual groups for them in the LFG, especially if they were a daily. Even just clearing a few raid bosses per week will add up very quickly because each of them will give between 8 to 16 shards. And that's how to farm Magnetite Shards in the updated raid system. I will be making another guide soon on what to buy with your shards to get the best value out of them. Thank you very much, and I will see you in the next guide.